Warning, this podcast contains strong, offensive and misogynistic language that some listeners may find offensive. The name's Vert. Percival Reginald Vert, and I run the P.I Detective Agency. The year is 2055 and the police have been defunded, so if you need a police investigation, the cops will charge you 1,000 big ones a day. Because of this, the government introduced the P.I Act, where the private investigators can undercut the police so justice can become affordable. These are my case files. Hello, and welcome to the Dickcast, the home for private detectives. We take a look at everything that's going on so you can get a nice little heads up to make sure that you can get straight on the job. Believe it or not, there's been a lot of missing persons recently, all men. Yes, that's right, all men have gone missing, completely missing, and no one knows what's going on. We've had men of all walks of life. It's always the same thing. They're out partying with their friends. Yes, they are. Partying with their friends down the red light district, and hey presto, they get separated from the group and they're never seen from ever again. Their phones don't even turn off. No, their batteries just run out of power. They keep ringing and ringing and ringing, and then they die as well. It's as though these men just get sucked into a black hole and never seen or heard from ever again. Now, how long's this been going on for, I hear you ask? Well, if it's on the Dickcast, it's gonna be going on for some time, because no one's got any leads on this, no one knows anything, no one's seen anything. And now, not only are there lots of different cases for people to get individual money from, but there's also a government reward. Yes, you've heard it. There is a government reward because too many citizens, too many voters are all going missing. Now, how much is that reward, I hear you say? Well, that reward is 50,000 big ones. I said 50,000 big ones. And the Dickcast will get 10% commission off of that if anyone gets it using our information. If you want your 50,000 big ones, I suggest you get right down to the docks, to the red light district. And I suggest you stay vigilant. Don't separate people. And I mean it, you don't want to be doing this all on your own, because you'll end up going missing. Be safe, and don't forget to give the Dickcast 10%. Until next time, guys. Wow, 50,000 big ones, hey? That'll keep me going for quite some time. That'll go right towards my retirement. Now, what can I do? The whole red light district's now gonna be swarming with all these other private detectives. And I wonder what I can do to get the prize. Cause yeah, this is a prize and a half. 50,000 big ones. That's a couple of years worth of wages. And it's government paid, so it ain't gonna be a rubber check. It ain't gonna bounce. Oh no, not one bit. Now, I have noticed a string of missing persons recently. I'm working on 10 of them at the moment. Nothing whatsoever. I meet up with the people that they've been hanging around with, and yeah, they have been hanging around the red light district just by the docks. They've all been going on nights out. You know, stag nights, birthday parties, promotions, and we even had a divorce party. All ends in the same thing. People going missing. They do get separated, just like what the Dickcast said. They go missing and never seen from ever again. So I've decided I'm gonna have a hunt around. I'm gonna go to some university campuses and start seeing if there's any parties that are going that way. Now, the Dickcast I know is not open to normal people. You have to be a private detective to be able to chime into it. There's no other way you can pick it up. You have to be logged into a private account using your private detective credentials. They don't allow the general public there, so that broadcast that I just heard, people are not going to get pulled off from going down to the red light district. Not at all. I'm going to have to get into people's parties and pretend that I'm with them and just sit down and watch. I'll have to buy a round of drinks just so I'm allowed to be there. Give the person whose party is a little lap dance. Well, not me personally, no, but pay for one. And then just sit back and wait for something to happen. Perfect crime. Ha! For me, that is. And I can also tout for a little bit of business. You know, stealing someone's test results. Stealing a test, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? But these students, they'll allow me to tag along because, hey, they're students. Free booze goes a long way with a student. It was a day later, and getting into a student's party wasn't that hard at all. All it took was 10 big ones each for a party of 10. So yeah, 100 big ones in total, just to be able to get on this party. And I promised them a round of drinks. And they're like, yeah, well, you pay towards another round as well then, from the money that you've just handed over to us. So yeah, come along, you know, just keep with us, but, you know, don't ruin the atmos, yeah? And I said, yeah, that's fine. I'm just working on a case and I just need to be a little bit incognito, you know, so I don't stand out like a sore thumb. And I asked, what's the theme of the party? And they're like, what kind of theme's that? Well, I said, when I was a student many years ago and we was going on a lads' night out, we'd all dress up as a theme so we could all, you know, just be noticed as a group. And also, if you're in a club and someone separates, you'll all be able to tell who's in that group. And the lead student, he was like, yeah, well, we didn't think about that. So what do you suggest? And I said, right, well, we're going to dress like a cunt tonight. And he's like, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, you ever see a Hawaiian or tropical shirt? And he looked at me and he said, man, those are absolutely disgusting. And I said, exactly. We're all going to dress like disgusting cunts. So if someone separates, they're easy to spot. You know, dressed up in bright, flowery shirts. We'll look like absolute cunts. And he looked at me and he said, yeah, that's the way we're going to do it. And I tell you what, here's my tenner back. So I turn up in the most ridiculous, garish, flowery piece of shit Hawaiian shirt that money could buy. I mean, it was the absolute worst. It had parrots on there, standing on these real bright flowers, and I did look like a right cunt. There was me, wearing that, and some chinos. Yeah, some chinos, and some suede boots. Hey, if I was gonna look like a cunt, I was gonna do it the right way. And there they were. The rest of the group just turned up, and they did not disappoint. We had red flowery shirts, we had pink flowery shirts, we had yellow and greens, and even massive amalgamations of different fucking colours. It was absolutely garish and shit. And one of them actually had the bollock to turn up with a Hawaiian coloured cowboy hat. And I looked at him and I said, well, boy, wow, you really are a cunt. And he looked at me and laughed. He laughed his head off. Okay, boys, I said, I'm going to be blending in with you guys, and no one splits off. And I mean it, no one splits off. I'm here incognito because there's a lot of men going missing. And we don't know why. We don't know the situations. We don't know the hows. I just need to come along and observe groups of people, groups of lads like yourself, and make sure that I'm right in the thick of the action. If anyone gets any trouble with any of these strippers, anyone gets any trouble with the pimps and the door staff, you tell me straight away, because surprise, surprise, I pretty much know most of the door staff by name. And the manager of this place, I know him, he's a friend and a client of mine, but he doesn't know what's going on either. One of his bouncers went missing, and he needs to know because that bouncer was his sister's husband's roommate, and that makes him absolutely nothing, but his sister's husband was really intrigued as to where he went, and I need to find him as well, okay? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay then, yeah, okay, that's fine. The night was going pretty well. These boys were having their fun. Stripper after stripper after stripper. Go-go dancer after go-go dancer, all in their faces. Tits with titty tassels just spinning around. Sweaty thongs getting shoved into the faces of these partying boys. And then I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. There's this lone woman. And then I noticed something. One of the boys decided he was going to go off alone. I tapped another one of the group and said, hey, I'm going to use him as the cheese. Yeah, I promise you, nothing's going to go wrong. I'm going to keep at a safe distance. You guys continue your fun. Here, I handed him a bundle of notes. Have another round of me. Hopefully this pays off, but I promise you now, that lad is going to be fine. Come back next week for the conclusion. Thank you for listening to Gumshoe. Percival Vert will be back with another case file next week. If you enjoyed today's content, why not check out our other fictional podcast, a tribute to men that hate their jobs. This podcast is about a man that is trapped in a job he hates because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We also have 30 Years Since, which is a sci-fi podcast set in a post-alien invasion Earth. Both links are in the description below. Master X Media also has a YouTube channel called The X Review, where Paul reviews and reacts to a different music video each and every day. The link is also in the description below. Don't forget to follow Master X Media on Facebook, Gab, Twitter and Parler. Once again, the links are in the description below. Thank you, and we shall catch you soon.